There was a deadly shooting at a Dallas ICE facility on September 24th, which resulted in the death of one detainee and injuries to two others, per CNN. The incident is being investigated by the FBI as an act of targeted violence perpetuated by a suspect named Joshua John, 29, who died of self-inflicted gunshot wound and left bullet casings with anti-ICE messages. There is a political fallout, and the central theme is with Republicans like President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance blaming radical left Democrats for anti-law enforcement rhetoric, while others, including Texas Representative Mark Vesey, condemns the use of divisive rhetoric from both sides and calls for a focus on gun violence and the victims. Kristi Noem says there's evidence suggesting that the shooting suspect was very much against ICE officers. No law enforcement personnel were injured, according to Special Agent in Charge Joe Rothrock. Texas Governor Greg Abbott calls the shooting an attack against our country itself earlier. Abbott says that agencies will continue to arrest, detain, and deport any individuals in this country illegally without interruptions. Dallas Mayor Eric Johnson calls for healing and unity after the shooting. Democratic State Representative Raphael Achia, who represents Dallas, calls for actions to address gun violence. Right now, we need for all our elected officials on the Democratic and Republican side to offer words of comfort instead of trying to do one-upisms to see whose fault this is, he says, while speaking with CNN Aaron Burnett. Whether we're Democrats or Republican, we have to condemn violent rhetoric and divisive rhetoric from the left and from the right. It has occurred in both parties, he said. He also said that he was disturbed by elected officials for the state not mourning the death and injuries of the migrants and instead focusing on law enforcement officials not being hurt. These are people too. The migrants are individuals, he says, and I do agree with his sentiments, okay? We don't want the law enforcement officers hurt, but the migrants are people too, you know? And it's crazy to, just dismiss the fact like, oh, well, they were hurt, but I'm glad the officers weren't, Well, no one should be hurt in this situation. And who knows what this guy was really up to. You just never know what goes on in people's brain. It was wrong of him to go in this place, or, I guess he was shooting off a building. So that was completely wrong of him. But to make this something more political than it may be, because I'm thinking it's a little bit political, but don't make it something like blaming the left against the right and all that stuff, okay? What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments.